Hey, good morning, folks. We're going to do some artwork for the Eberron adventure that we are creating, Crystals and Mabar. You can see the book cover here. I'm going to grab the link here and update my social media that we're live. So give me a hot second while I press those buttons. Very quiet. I'm wondering. Hold on. Maybe this will fix it. Very quiet. I'm wondering. Hold on. Yeah, that'll probably fix it. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Here we go. Ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Here we go. Social media, pressing buttons, almost done, and then we'll get artwork done. So we're doing some monster tokens for the adventure that we're creating, Crystals and Mabar. We're fighting undead and demons in the Carnwood of Karnath on the continent of Corvair, and yeah, I can come through much better now. Okay, great. So I can go ahead and drop that volume down there. Our updates are resolved, so let's get to work. Boop, and yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Give me just another second here, Bob. I want to flip this up a little bit. There, and then drop this down. Okay, now we're good to go. Book cover, current art. So this is the Blood Golem that we've been working on here for the past few days, well, 6 days now. Yeah, so we have big pile of blood or necrotic energy with corpses that got fed into it. The ritual, the Emerald Claw is performing rituals to create a permanent manifest zone that connects to the plane of Mabar, where undead energy emanates from. And right now, we're happy with the outline of the ooze aspect of it. Now we are integrating the bodies, the corpses. So actually, I think what I want to do is reduce the size of these a little bit. Let's do it like this. So they're all about the same size. Those are a little bit bigger. Actually feels pretty good. If I grab these guys here and I curve them over, so can I, if I drag these over here like this, it's a little off. Let's push these. That feels pretty good. And then we can grab these and positional stuff. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's merge that down. And let's actually grab this background here. And fill this in so it has a little bit more structural support. There, that's better. Okay, so let's take these bodies. Just start smudging this stuff around to make it make sense. What the? Get the hell out of here. I should probably cancel Norton and get Windows Defense and Windows File Management. I was looking into that recently, and apparently most of the services that Norton provides are free with just the Microsoft tools as listed. I just got to learn how to do it, which is going to take time that I don't want to spend, but it sounds like a smart thing to do. Yeah, we're just going to have these things like peeling out of the goop, but only showing part of their bodies. Here, let's bring that in. We can bring this in. And once we get these basic bodies cleaned up, and looking the way that I want, then we're going to start skinning flesh over them. So right now I'm just filling in this space and cleaning up the bodies a little bit, and then we'll find some of our zombie art and use that as our own reference for consistent color usage throughout the document. Let's grab that and bring it in like here. Like that. Let's push up the strength of our smudge brush to pull this around. Add in some erase there. Arf. I like the looks of this guy. Don't like this guy so much. Maybe I like those arms. Maybe I don't. So let's actually grab this, extend this out, carve this down a little bit, get those clavicles in place properly. Kind of like that. There. Like that. That feels pretty good. Bring that around. No? Yes. In, let it smudge around. I want more blood reddishness towards the interior of this piece, and then as it gets further out towards the edges, where the tentacles emerge from, I want to have that more black, so the necrotic energies overtake the blood fuel. Pull it out. Just blend that color in. Get sort of blood smoke sort of feeling from it. And then pull the color up into the tentacles a little bit to have them fade away. There we go. Let's continue blending and adding this all together here. Smooth that out. You want to have really smooth, smooth curves, smooth form, nothing too edged, so that the viscosity of the ooze, like the feeling of it comes through. Oops, that is too large. Let's bring this down like that. That feels good. Grab this here and drop it in down like this. Wait, whoa. Let's do that. Good. And here. There, that feels pretty good. Let's do that like that. And again, we just want to blend this color into the mass. There's a lot of cloud blending here right now. Like that. Spin us over here. Good. There we go. Get the bulk of this in here. I know it's incredibly subtle that it is a very, very little value difference between the super dark red and the black that we have in the piece here, but it has like a little bit of like, what's the word? Like there's a little hint of heat coming from it, so I want to make sure that it's not puddled or cut off in any weird way. So having just a smoother blend into the mass in general is a better way, I think, to resolve the difference, have it fade in. There, and this will be a good background for the other corpses that are spawning from the mass. So I think this will give it a better origin point instead of just raw black for it to ooze out from. Blend that in, blend to win. Oops, you gotta fix that. There we go. Almost. That's just a little bit of variance in here I don't like. There. That should be better. Cool. Okay, now let's add these bodies back in and start smudging them into the terrain. Cutty pasty. Oops. Cutty pasty. Yeah, I think working on this in layers is probably going to be the best way about it. So we'll poke around up here with this dude. Merge here. I think there's a decent possibility. Nah, we're probably not. I was about to say, I think there's a decent chance that we'll be done working with the skeletons and start adding flesh to them tomorrow. We might have the skeletons done by tomorrow. I was thinking that I'd had them done today. We got like, what, an hour? Oh, we got an hour and 15 minutes left. We should be doing fine. I'm going to actually... Still waking up. Let me grab some caffeine here. Actually, it's not caffeine. I'm decaf now. It's coffee, though. All right, that feels pretty good. Let's keep pushing down into here. Get this filled in, and now we'll work on these two over here. I actually like how these look. So we'll put skin over these, rotted flesh and stuff. Get these figured out here. I like to do the skeleton and then skin the skeletons. Add flesh onto them. We've done a number of different corpses and undead throughout this adventure that we've done a similar process with, and I really like how it ends up. Let's carve that out. Bleed that in here. We can put like little just blocks of meat and muscle and stuff over these spots. Just the limbs just help give us placement and a little bit of extra energy. That's my 20-minute timer to help remind me to take water. I like these. I like this placement. This feels pretty good. The space between here and here. That's pretty decent to me. Let's grab what we're working on here. Merge down. So we can get this blend in here going. There we go. Let's fade that into the depths by blending it out. hints of a hand that I can skin over or detail as needed. But I like that. That feels pretty good. So we're gonna let that sit. We'll come back to here and blend these things into the ooze. Don't necessarily all have to have arms. Blend this guy out. That's a prime target for some flesh on chest. So far, so good. So what? That feels pretty good. And then let's make sure this is well-rounded. Smooth that out, get rid of the burrs. No burrs. Good. Blend, blend, blend. Yeah, that feels good. Just a round, hard brush is all we're using here. And this brush that we're using for smudging, I call it a guitar pick. Has this faded edge that's really good at blending and smudging out. Like, see how delicate it is when it blends out things, but then this front nose here is a hard edge that pushes through and creates line. Otherwise, I just normally use just a hard round brush for all the actual pixels that I put on, like the brush to add pixel to add pigment to the page. There, that feels pretty interesting. Continue to blend. I'm looking forward to finishing this piece, honestly. We have an Ultraloth to paint. I think I'm looking forward to the Ultraloth more than anything else. I have a pose I'm happy with, and now it's just a matter of filling in details from the reference images. So I think we'll probably get to that probably on Monday. So I do artwork like this in the mornings, Monday through Fridays. On Mondays, Thursday nights, and Saturday mornings, I have additional sessions. Usually I do game design and like mechanics writing and stuff like that. Last night, the muse was inspired to continue working on just more artwork. So I could do really anything on Mondays and Thursday nights and Saturday mornings. I'm trying to pull together a Strixhaven campaign. Well, not really a campaign. Playtesting mechanics for the Mage Tower game, a sport that exists in Strixhaven. It's kind of like rugby, like Magic Rugby, and I want to. I have a combat initiative variant of the game, instead of it being an ability, like instead of the way that it's written in Strixhaven is everyone on your team makes an ability check and you add up the total of your ability checks versus the enemy team. And whichever team has the largest total ability score combined wins a point or wins the match, depending on how brief you want to make the mechanics of determining winners and losers. So if you just want to add it on as a social occasion sort of thing, like as part of like a taunting challenge or whatever it is that you're doing, non-combative, you just make, it can be resolved in a single set of die rolls. But if you want to extend it out, and because there's not a lot of combat in the Strixhaven campaign, it's largely, campus stuff without much danger. Occasionally, evil, raises its head that you then stomp down. But that still leaves the campaign very combat light. So a way to cheat in additional combat mechanics that have some sort of meaning is to participate in the Mage Tower League. To have characters that are participating. So you can have either your normal characters that you're running in your Strixhaven campaign participate, or you can just specifically make athletes that skills, powers, feats, etc. are all kitted out specifically to win Mage Tower as a combat sport. Using initiative and action economy to move around the battlefield and actually having an arena set up for us to do so. Because there's no actual rules to it that have been set up. There's a description. There's some cards in the Strixhaven Magic the Gathering card set. Like the arena itself is like a land card, and there's some instant actions like score, I don't know, hat trick or something. I don't remember the name of the cards, but they're sports relevant to Strixhaven specifically, and that's feeling pretty good. Red's a tricky color with pushing pixels around. Because it's warm and it's dark but warm. It's interesting. Red is really, really interesting color. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay, I can afford to leave that like that. Let's add these in. Delete. Let's do that. Bring these in. Off camera, I build out the text and structure of the document that this artwork goes to. So I'm kind of building in parallel. We're finishing artwork here on stream, and then in the evenings off stream, I'm doing layout decisions and italics and bold and setting up hyperlinks to make the document functional as a navigating tool for the information that's in here. Let's drop this down, just add in some erasers in through here to help define those ribs a little bit better. I think I want to grab this here and bring it in like that. Do I like where these are at? I don't know. Let's see. Continue fleshing these out. I feel like I need more bodies. Like this might be enough where it's at. I feel like I want more, though. More, give me more, give me more. Ooh, that feels good. That feels actually pretty good. I might not need to have anything further down here. Maybe like some hints of stuff in this, like there probably needs to be something like here, but I don't want to overwhelm the piece, like having them spilling out at the floor or anything. Yeah. This feels like pretty good spacing. Let's actually make this one a little bit bigger. Sorry, I'm just assessing the weight of the amorphous form to see if I like how it's sitting, or if I want to do something like shift it down. Yeah, let's shift that down. So I'm gonna do some quick corrections here. Add some more mass to this. There. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Let's add some ground. Just to help ground it a little bit, pardon the pun. Oops, well, I mean, I didn't mean to put the black directly into the green color, so let's undo that and try again, shan't we? Put that there, then drop it down here. Now we can smudge this stuff out. Make a little bit more sense. I now realize why I didn't want to merge the masking layer that we used to outline this, because I need more ground stuff. I didn't see it at the time, but I ignored the muse. She's like, don't lock that down. But I'm like, it won't hurt. Let's go ahead and lock it down. And now I'm finding I'm wanting to put some darker color at the base, so not locking in the, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, the masking layer that's causing this bleed to melt in. There we go. Good enough anyway. We're figuring it out. There. Cha-cha-cha. Good morning, folks. Yeah, we're doing artwork. We're doing creature tokens. This is that 16 by 9 format for a PDF adventure document. If you're full screen right now, you can see how this document fills that space. It's 17 inches wide, 10 inches tall. It's only meant to be a PDF. It's not supposed to be printed. I only produce PDFs. I don't proof these things for print. And a device, the horizontal width will fit your device like normal, but each column is also a 16 by 9 format. So once it becomes a PDF, you can look at just an individual column at a time. The Blood Golem is from 3rd edition. It doesn't have an official 5e translation yet, but like the Caneloth does. And so the stat blocks that we have in the Creature Menagerie portion of this adventure, for the most part, D&D monster stat blocks can be resolved in one column using this format of PDF. So the entire adventure is built to be self-contained, that like all the information, anything that's on one column is basically a block of information. And for the most part, I think there might be 1 or 2 instances, but for the vast majority, the beginning of each column has a separate category or listing type. Like this is where the actions start for this monster. The traits are down here. We hit the end of the page. We jump back up here, and this is one of the boss fights of the adventure. So it takes up a large amount of space. While the Caneloth is a minor opponent, and it's only taking up 1 column. But this is the information that's from the monster manual, for like say the Caneloth, that we're able to successfully translate with a 12-point font into this 9-inch by 5.5-inch space that we're operating inside of here. And that works for the majority of creatures in the monster manual to fit inside this 1 column or 2 column space. So it's working out really well. I'm really happy to have found this format. Let's just keep blending the ground here. So the ooze isn't free floating too heavily. Go. That feels good. That feels good. There we go. This is the cloud brush. I use 2 different types of smudge brushes, the guitar pick, which I showed earlier, and then this smudge brush. It's a bunch of layered, a bunch of circles and cloud-like shapes that are layered over each other at different levels of opacity. So as I grab pixels and smudge them, they grab different areas at different strengths and pull them at different rates. So they end up blending together well, causing disintegrating the lines of the smudge work very quickly. Hey, Defected. I'm kind of word pieing a little bit here. Don't mind me. It's kind of little circles blending this in, little back and forth, clockwise and then counterclockwise. It's like Bob Ross is the best way to make clouds. And then I'm going to just smudge that in here like that. Blend that out. There we go. That's pretty good. I think I can rest with that. I wanted to have a little bit of darker base so that the ooze isn't just such a harsh break. Let's. I'm gonna merge those down just to make them a winner. There we go. How you doing, Defect? I'm ready for this one to be done. It's going to take obviously a couple more hours for me to complete it, but I'm ready to move on to the next piece already. It's a fun exercise, but this isn't new space. I mean, we've already done 2 similar illustrations. It's the Living Grave here, which is a great example of this piling on of corpses, and then the actual ritual nexus before the blood golem is created from this mess that converts into this, which is a combination between the Living Grave and the nexus energy to create this leftover form. Let's get back up into here. Doing good, good. Just drinking my coffee, nice. Taking some hits, gearing up to go draw. But I love sitting outside with my dogs. There's a problem. You don't have to go to work for 7. Holy God, that's great. I'll join you in that sip, sir. Actually, I'm going to refresh my coffee real quick. Day, what is this? Day 45 of no caffeine. So far, so good. Coffee says. There. Yeah, let's keep digging these corpses, burying them into the goop. And I think, actually, after looking at things, well, there we go. Maybe something like that. I think this is all the bodies that I actually want to have in here. I don't want to bring them like all the way down to here. That's just too much. This feels pretty sufficient. So that means 4 bodies to go. Let's see if I can blend these in. Then we can start putting flesh on them. And once we get flesh in there, these little stray spots in between, we can do some organs and innards and stuff just kind of flowing through here like tentacles wanting to rise out of the goop. Day 16,000 of caffeine-induced lunacy. Yeah, man. Well, you know, 10,000 days is 30 years, or that doesn't sound right. Let's push this back up and get our guitar pick back. 10,000 days. 10,000 days is 20 years-ish. No, that's not right. 30, yeah, about 30 years. 25 years, maybe? I don't want to pull out a calculator. So I would say I'm 50. And I've been an avid coffee drinker since I was... You know, I don't think I was an avid coffee drinker until maybe 28. So I've only been drinking coffee hard for 22 years. So yeah, maybe 12,000 hours. Maybe 12,000 days. I like how this guy looks. And since he's on a separate layer, I can use an eraser and not damage the background. Straighten that up. It's 20 years. Thank you. 46 years. Right on. Math was failing me. Or I failed math. There we go. That feels... This is a kind of a neutral-ish pose. But I think I'm going to be okay with it. Let's bring this down here for rib cage here, and then fill that in a little bit back here for the scapula. Some scapula action back here. Get that straightened out. Sup? Yeah, right on. Fair enough. Yeah, we're really, really close to getting these skeletons done. I'm looking forward to putting flesh on them, just to help add some variety and color. And there's just something about doing multiple. I mean, this is, God, if we had like the undead army as well, we'll probably have to grab the undead army reference for some of the coloring here. We got a lot of undead in this piece. But hey, it's an adventure about fighting undead, so it kind of makes sense, right? That feels pretty good. Let's blend that in more, a little bit more. There, that'll feel okay. Then come in here and clean that up. Then we'll clean up the nose. Rendering. This isn't like this portion of the artwork. This isn't creative endeavor right now. This is just rendering. And rendering is when you already know what it is. Like you've figured, quote unquote, figured it out. You know what the composition is. Now it's just a matter of like just knowing what it's supposed to look like isn't enough. You actually have to like do it. You actually have to put in the time to produce the work that creates the image that you are envisioning. And that is the crux. That's where a lot of pieces break down. Because now it's just there's no inspiration at this. Like there'll be new inspiration injected when we get to the flesh portion of putting skin on these skeletons. But the skeletons themselves is like I know what this is doing. I know where this goes. There's no real mystery left to this portion of the production pipeline. So it's fatiguing because there's no excitement attached to just rendering skeleton details. So that's a risk that I have to pay attention to as a producer, to not cheese out on the details or get lazy with it because I'm bored. You have to find a way to muscle through the process to get the end result that you're imagining. It's just because you have the image of it, you're not off the hook on actually all the production time that goes into it, which is where a lot of the AI hype comes from. It's like you don't have to worry about the effort, just have the inspiration and provide your prompt, and it spits out an answer for you that you didn't have to try to get. But you lose. I mean, we could, harp at AI forever. There's a difference between production and creation, right? That's AI produces art. There's no creative effort or there's no inspiration into it. It's just executing a plan based on likely results of its database of information that's available to it about what different types of illustrations are. The inspiration comes from the human fuel, but if you're just providing prompts, you can't really have an inspiration from a prompt. You can just change up the word salad that you use. So the public that consumes the final piece of art, whether it's part of a product or standalone or whatever, standalone art as like art itself, I don't think people are valuing AI for that. I think they strictly value AI's ability to produce illustration results like product. Hey, what's up? Didn't restart your line work once get onto rendering phase. Yeah. Once you start, I've been meaning to ask you, what do you have your pin button set up to do? Oh, I don't use my pins at all. The Wacom Art Pen TM. It's a it has two points on the pin here, and it has 1 point here. Actually, yeah, and so the radio transponder that bounces the radio signal off of the board hits the pin and then bounces back. So the 2 points in here, and then there's 1 point here. If I were to flip it over and use it as an eraser, it has a single point up here of recognition, so it bounces off, so it knows that it's upside down, and so the eraser mode is active. Like this far away from the pin, this far away from the board, it literally does nothing. It just uses radio transponders to reflect a signal off of, so that the board is the one that's emitting the radio signal. So when you rotate the pin, it rotates the two radio nodes inside the pin here, so it recognizes that it's spinning, which is what allows me to rotate the object in space like this. It's because it's picking up those two signals. And then it has the 2 points here at the front and back, and then it has this button here. This is by default supposed to be an eraser. This could be like a left click. The only thing I use the button for, this front button here, the one that when I press down, it's the right button on the mouse, so it opens up the toolkit for me to switch tools. The right button, the back button, and the eraser, I have both of those disabled. So the pen only does one thing, which is pop open the brush menu for me to be able to switch between what brushes I'm using. And then my keyboard setup, I'll do that real quick for you. It's, let's see, A, S, D, F, R, E, Z, B. A is my selection tool. B is my brush tool. E is my eraser tool. R is my smudge tool. Z is my zoom. Control plus Z is back button. When I have a brush active, the D key makes the brush bigger, and S makes the brush smaller. And these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the only 7 keys that I use when I paint. This is it. So this and my brush with a single open up my brush options. Those are literally the only keys. I will use the number pad to change like the opacity of a brush or whatever. But that is my keyboard arrangement. So my hand sits comfortably in the WSAD position, and my right hand is painting, so I can navigate and change keys while I'm painting. And this is basically what I'm doing. That's my keyboard arrangement. Yeah. I'm not familiar with Adobe or those default or custom hotkeys. Yeah, normally the plus and minus symbol are used to make brushes bigger and smaller, but they're weird located. Since I'm right-handed, I don't have easy access to my number pad. It's really awkward to move from WASD up to the plus minus buttons in the upper right-hand corner of the common keyboard. So I just reposition everything. Like A and R do different things in the default settings of Adobe, but it's easy to switch them around. And then I just create a preference, what is the word I'm trying to use? Default preference. I have custom preferences I keep locked in as an editing format that I can load up those options. And yeah, so there you go. Very, very simple. I don't use Photoshop for all of the powerful tools that it provides. I like the color tools. Because I don't see color, I like having robust color tools that help me make decisions like that help me create the process, to go through the process. And I think from what I've seen, Adobe's color tools are the best ones. Between GIMP, Corel, and I don't like I don't know the user interface for Clip Art Studio feels weird to me. It's probably because I'm just an Adobe addict. It would take I don't know, man. I don't know if it's worth the squeeze to switch out of Adobe into Clip Art or something else. So I just stick with what I know. Let's get into this guy's face again for a moment here. I'm gonna trim that down a little bit. That here. What's up? Hey, what's up? Slowing down so much. The learning curve is. I'm not getting near the amount of. I feel you. Well, I mean, hey, you gotta respect the process. If switching to a new system is what you need to do, then that ultimately is going to help produce. The temporary growing pains, if there's a larger goal in mind, it's worth it. Blend in to win. I think I'm okay with that. Don't cave his head in. Not yet. We're going to add skin to all these. These should be fine. Do that. That feels pretty good. And we'll get those jawbones in here eventually. Once we know how the flesh sits, we'll be able to have just stray jawbones laying around. Jawbones and knee joints. How about that? This hand can come to life. All right, that feels pretty good. I'm gonna let that be. Let's jump back down into here and get these guys cleaned up. Definitely add some flesh to these guys. Oh, wow. Nasty, man. That is a significant step. I didn't realize switching software would feel like that. Oh, it's because you're using a Cintiq now, or a Huion, right? You're like a in-tablet display. Yeah, it probably should be, huh? 7:30. We still got 20 minutes left. That's cool. So we'll get this done. We'll be working on flesh tomorrow. That seems like a decent tempo. Huion, yeah, right on. Well, I mean, if you're switching to a different form, like now that you're actually looking at what you're painting while you're painting it digitally, that's the perfect time for you to switch to a new program. Because you're learning new habits anyway. Now you're just helping reinforce them. So it's a clean break, right? Blend that in. Nope, not you. You're sitting pretty. You. That feels pretty good. We got this guy here. That feels pretty good. And we got this guy here. Still very much a diamond in the rough. But I think I want to have it in the central mass. I don't know. I feel like I just lost something. Hold on. Scoot this over. This still feels odd, Duck. But that is the proper place that I want. I don't know. Maybe that isn't right. I kind of like this. I kind of like this here. I feel like there's too much empty space here. Like I need to do some sort of writhing. I mean, I'll get some writhing masses in here. Do things like that, and down here like that to help flesh out this puddle bit here to add some dimensionality to it. Yeah, we'll leave that open. I've got this guy in here, but I doubt I'm going to need him. So I'm just going to leave that be for now. Let's just finish up these guys, and we'll be able to call it a wrap for the day. So bring that in. Just get this set. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want that. It doesn't. I don't know. I could have crawling skeletons at the bottom. I mean, I have them over in the other piece. Something about that isn't quite jiving with me correctly. Bring that in. There we go. You're ready for some flesh, buddy. Actually, let's get this arm out here like that. Push that out here. Like that. There, you're dying for some flesh too. I'm attempting to get lazy in these skeletons by justifying that they're gonna have zombie flesh over them, but if I don't have a strong foundation, then the flesh isn't gonna work the way that I need it to. So I can't cheese out and get lazy on this, even though I'm very much done and tired of doing skeletons. I can't shirk the work to a later process because it's just going to weaken the piece overall. The weakness will poke through. So I got it. Even though there's not a lot left I actually need to do, the diligence is necessary. So I'm actually okay with this as it sits here. I think I want to bring this head down like that. Allows me to push this over. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Just grab this guy and then make something of him. Hey, what's up? Yeah. I think something like that will make sense. It's something. I mean, I may end up having corpses crawling out the bottom. Who knows? But for whatever reason, the muse doesn't want me to drop down. Like wants this to be left untouched. I've got a little bit of a blank spot up in here I can mess around with, which I mean I have this dude, but it's not quite feeling right. So I suspect that I don't know something is she's gonna do something with the base. I don't know what it is yet. She just wants me to leave it alone. So the more I listen to the muse, the better off my work turns out. I'm pretty sure she has a roadmap of all of this up in heaven and is trying to pipe the information to me through intuitive conscience, little pings and ideas. Can't speak with me directly into my ear, so she has to send me emotional signals to let me know when something's right or wrong by making it feel right or feel wrong. It's all about the feels. But there is no emotion when you're incorporeal because emotions are a chemical process. So if you don't have a body that's capable of chemical processes, it's impossible for you to feel love or feel excitement or feel anger. These are emotional. These are chemical processes that causes surges in your body that are directly linked and caused by the feeling. The emotions that you have. The feelings that you have is not the emotion. The feelings that you have is the chemical fallout of your emotions. So I don't know if anger or joy or anything actually has a feeling outside of the body. The limited opportunities that I've had to leave my body and be aware of it, there was no sense. It was just a general buoyancy of comfort. There's no actual emotions being felt at all. No excitement, no fear. And when I get startled while projected, it causes me to snap back into the body, and that's when I feel the rush of emotion from whatever startled me. But I have not had a successful career of astral projection. I've pulled it off twice, and the first time was confirmation that it's possible with effort, and that I could immediately substantiate, like I could actually observe things that were happening in the real world in real time that corresponded and were verifiable when I woke up. So that set confidence in me that astral projection is actually a thing. And then the second time that I left my body, I encountered something. Whether it was just a projection of fear for myself or if it was actually a free-floating entity unto itself, but it looked like a shadowy figure. And it oozed out of a dark pillar that was in the basement where I was sleeping at the time, and so when I actually projected, I looked over at the column, and out of it just a body just kind of stepped out of it, and I wasn't mentally prepared for that, so. It caused me to jump back into my body and panic a little bit. And from then on forward, I've been pretty confident that there are spirits and shadows of people that exist right outside of physical space that are aware of our being here, like ghosts and shit like that. I have a pretty high belief that those things are real, but like why they're stuck there or what their origins are or what their intentions are, I don't know. I just know that running into one of them spooked the hell out of me, so I immediately jumped back into my body and woke up, and I haven't tried astral projecting since. That was all I needed. First one was proof that it works and that it actually has tangible recallability, like I could actually recall things, and that they were accurate. And the second time was you're not alone out here, so stay in your cage. I do not seek to be some sort of great guru that fights demons in the astral realm. That's not my story. So I'm like, okay, I'm content. Back in the body. It took me a solid year of attempting to project to get to that point. And then once I got out there, I was immediately like, no, you're done. Get out. You're curious to see if it was real. It's real. Now you're poking around some more. No, get out. Go home. This isn't what you're supposed to be doing with your life. I'm like, okay. But my dad astral projected every night, but he didn't know what it was, so he was afraid that if he left sight of his body, he'd be trapped outside of his body forever. So he never left the room that he was in, and that always fascinated me. So I wanted to be able to reproduce the effects, and I had done a lot of research on it, so I knew, if it was real. You could roam the universe and you'd be fine. And I only got outside my house but it was proof enough for me. And we're going to blend that in. This isn't great. Let's free transform. Let's skew it. There, that feels better. That gives a little bit of a shift in energy. We'll definitely... What's up? I'm just trying to spark your muse. Oh, don't mind me. Haha, right on, man. Appreciate it. No, you always have great suggestions. The Jello cake underneath them. Right, exactly. Yeah, kind of. This is just them oozing out of it, right? So it would be a larger mass that we'd have in here like this or something like that, flowing around here like that. I suspect this is going to be something we end up doing, like adding 3-dimensionality to it once we get to that point. So we won't need to really worry about the bodies. Actually, now that we're actually thinking about it, I want to actually push this up a little bit and in. So there's a little bit more space to be able to have his body overall. That feels pretty good. I like that. I think that's a good position. So let's grab this. I'm just going to add this guy in here real quick. I bet that's going to work. Ooh, let's put him over here. Now that makes the central mass a little empty. Here would actually be decent, but then I'd want something here, and I'm not. Then that has me pushing further and further down the page. I don't think that's what I really want to do. I think I want to be probably here. Is that what I want to do, or? It's not balanced. Like it's leaning this direction a little bit. It's leaning over here. So I'm trying to figure out how can I shift the weight of it with the images. Like if I put this here, it actually pulls the image over this way a little bit. If I bring him over here, it pulls the image this way a little bit. This is too low in the mass for that height of body. So I feel like it wants to, like I want to put it here. Yeah, we might end up embellishing over here, like spreading this out or something. I don't know. But yeah, this wants to be here, so that's where we're going to put it. Wah! Okay. What's up? Just trying to start. Accident. Now interact with any of the thoughts I have. If I do, I realize I'm back in problem solving mode. I revert back right on. And I fall asleep. Usually when I wake up, I have answers to my questions. That's my sleeping ritual. Nice. Think about one question I have or issue I'm dealing with. Could be how. Yeah. Absolutely. Totally feel that. Yeah, sleep is amazing for providing answers. I think life wants to show you things, not tell you things, right? So like what's an example? Like if I'm stuck on a problem and then I'll put it out, like how did I manage to solve the issue, like the data issue of making my documents too large to produce? Like how did I manage to find a solution to that? And then the next day or whenever the timing is right, I'll stumble into an article. It's like how to reduce the data size of your Word document. So like life wants to lead you to the answers that you have, not tell you, but like lead you to them, like physically do the things and discover it during that process. I mean, mileage may vary and results will be different from, I'm sure, individual to individual. But that's generally what I find, that life wants to show you things, not tell you things. The royal you, as it were. But I think everyone functions a little bit differently. In mine, it's the inspiration to go do, to find, to seek. It's those decisions. Like I have a high success rate in finding answers to things that I'm inspired to ask. It's almost like we need you to ask this question so we can show it to you. So it's like I'm being inspired to ask the question, knowing that I'll get an answer. You know, if that makes any sense. I am damn near out of time. What time is it? 7:48? Yeah, I've got like 3 minutes left on the clock. So let's see if we can get this guy done. So tomorrow when we come back and continue this, we'll be working on, we'll start adding flesh to some of these skeletons, and then we'll start adding in mass to the writhing masses to the bulk to help give it more three-dimensionality. That'll be tomorrow, and then it's Thanksgiving week here in America. So tomorrow I'll be on, and then I'll be out on Thursday, and then I'll be back on Friday morning. I actually have Friday off as a holiday, as an extended holiday. So I have the opportunity to stream as long as I want. So I'm highly confident that I can get this piece finished by Friday and starting on something new on Monday. And aside from working this on Friday morning, Friday afternoon, probably like from 2 till 5 or 6, I plan on doing Martial Powers design work, or rather color mana conversion. I'm going to Friday afternoon we're going to take all the new Faerun subclasses and rebuild them using the color mana system. Since it's an official book now that have locked down the features of different subclasses, we can translate those subclasses now. I won't be including those in the color mana book rebuild. I'm just going to use the core classes from the player's handbook, as the core mechanics book that we develop is kind of like the color mana player's handbook sort of thing. I'm still debating whether or not I want to include the Ravnica, Strixhaven, and Theros renown, piety, credits, and backgrounds that they develop for the MTG settings. I almost feel like I want to have those separate, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. If the book needs this, if the book benefits from it, I'll include it. So I'll consider that option. But I also want to look at including language for converting your alignment to color identities, so that goes into the character development and like alignment and background and origin feats and stuff like that. That's all kind of in the same block. So I might end up doing the MTG background and renowned stuff as part of the core mechanics. That's my timer. Let me know it's 7:51, and it is in fact 7:51. So let's just have these arms bleed in. It's very generic. All their arms are kind of like off to their sides like this, but I suspect once I start filling in details, like having an arm here would probably make sense. Having an arm out here like this would probably make sense. Having his arms rise up like this might make sense. We'll figure that out as we go. Right now, I'm pretty happy with this structure. So we're going to let this sit here like that. I'm happy with this. When we come back tomorrow morning, we will, like I said, we're going to start adding flesh and guts and all the writhing squishy bits. We're going to add all that stuff onto and inside of the skeletons and have it drip out into the mass. And I suspect that, like, if I have entrails pouring out of this, they could expand into massive tentacle horrors like this, and guts down here and guts down here and guts down here. Have it all flow through. I bet that'll end up working out really nicely. So yeah, entrails, guts and entrails. That's what I suspect all of this area is going to be full of. And that might allow us to create a larger space over here like this. To like maybe balance out the base a little bit. Well, it's working. It's coming along. It's coming along. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, what happens? What does this button do? What if I just bring this out a little bit like that? Probably I'm going to need to bulk all of this up in here for it to feel right. This helps resolve some of that lean that I was concerned about earlier. Yeah, we'll let this sit like this for now. Just let me go, Muse. I got things to do. Gotta go, babe. Gotta go. Let me go, honey. There. Okay, that's good for now. Yeah, it actually does balance it out. This is a little light over here. It's gonna need, yeah, it's definitely gonna need thickening. But we'll let the entrails guide us. Come on, baby, you gotta let me go. The Muse, she's sticky. There we go. Okay, that'll do. We'll hit save for now. It's coming along. It'll be done soon enough. Oh man, I don't turn off. Missed some stuff down here. Yeah, well, I'm the guy. Really appreciate you. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Anyone else that's been out here, thanks a lot for everyone for hanging out with me. I'll be back tomorrow. Like, subscribe, check out the books I have linked down below. Yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Here's a bunch of books that we've created on the DMsGuild that are full of my art and ideas. They all have free previews. If you're a D&D enthusiast and any of these things strike inspiration for you, please consider purchasing to support similar behavior in the future. Discord community is free to access. Patreon support is always appreciated. And you can follow me on the socials. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks a lot.